Today we're going to talk about the if function in Excel. The if function is one of the most common and used functions in Excel, and today we're going to discuss its most basic format. So let's see how it's done. So when we're talking about the if statement, we have three parts. We have the logical expression part, and then we have the what to do if yes. So if the logical expression is positive. And we have the what to do if no. That means that if the logical expression is negative. So let's see how this is done. So for this, we're going to have three small data sets. The first data set is a bunch of random numbers. And for each and every number of those numbers, we're going to have to determine if this number is greater than 50 or not. The second data set that we have is a set of random names for which we have to determine if the name we have is Robert or not. And the third data set we have is a bunch of random dates for which we're going to have to determine if the random date is in October or not. So the last one is a bit more advanced, but we'll see how this is going on. So for the first data set, what we need to do is to determine if the number is greater than 50 or not. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with equal sign, and then we're going to write if, and then we're going to open parentheses. Then we're going to go to that specific cell we're looking for, which is D6 in that case, and the logical expression is going to be, is D6 greater than 50, right? And now with the comma, we're going to switch to what to do if that's correct, what to do if that's true. So for this, we're going to open quotes, and we're going to say greater than 50. We're going to finish the quotes, and then we're going to switch to the value if false. So for that, what we're going to do, we're going to hit comma, and then we're going to write something about the what if it's false. So we're going to write for that not greater than 50. Then we're going to close the quotes, and then we're going to close the parentheses, and we got a response for that. The response says not greater than 50, right? And now we're going to try the next one. The next one is going to be the same thing, right? We're going to have the same conditions, and what we have for this is greater than 50 because it's 53. And now we're going to write the next one. The next one is the same thing. It's 34, so the function's decision is that it's not greater than 50. Then we're going to write the next one, which is 55, and then we're going to complete all of them. So ultimately what we have this and that and that. This one. We have three numbers that are greater than 50, all using the same rule. Now we're going to switch to the next data set, and we're going to ask if the name to the left of us is Robert or something else. So for this, what we're going to do, we're going to start the same way. We're going to say equal sign, then we're going to write if, then we're going to put the opening parentheses, and then we're going to ask for the logical test. So our logical test is addressing F number 6, the cell F6, and I'm asking if this is equal to Robert. Then I'm going to close the parentheses, then I'm going to add a comma, then I'm going to hit yes if that is Robert, and if it's not Robert, then it's going to say no. I'm going to close the parentheses, and then I'm going to switch through all of them, and we can see that none of it got Robert apart from Robert. So all of them were no and no and no and no and no apart from Robert, which was yes. Now the last part is a bit more tricky part, it's a bit more advanced part. What we do with this one, we're looking for the month of October. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to write equal sign, then we're going to start with if, and then we're going to open parentheses, and then we're going to go to this. But before we do that, we're asking if the month of this value equals to October, to the 10th month, right? So this is what we're going to do. This is the logical expression. Now we're going to hit the comma, and the value if true would be yes, and the value if no would be no. And then we're going to close the parentheses. We're going to hit enter, and since this is October 15th, 2024, that's a yes. And this one would be December, so that's a no. This one would be May, so that's a no as well. This one is October, this one is not October, and this one is not October. So eventually, we got two entries with October. So this is the basic form of if statement using Excel.